What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, Talk It Up with Cindy and Jerry. Hope you guys doing well.
How's it going, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? The weather's finally catching up a little bit.
It's starting to cooperate.
This podcast was pre-recorded, as TV shows.
Pre-recorded
we're down in Florida.
I'm down in Florida.
Well, she's down in Florida, yeah. So, but this is an interesting podcast topic. I like this. So this is a little bit on the adult side, serious. There's no picking on Jerry and stuff like that.
No, this is not
This
picking
is
on
more
Jerry.
like
This is more of a boundary thing.
This is
This is an
couples.
adult
This is couples boundaries.
boundary.
You know, where you have your boundaries, where we have our boundaries.
And it's not boundaries for ourselves. It's boundaries for our acquaintances and friends.
So here's how it goes. So, you know, I'm at work. She's not. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm at work, I know a lot of people in my neighborhood and stuff like that. I know the husband. I know the wife equally. I'll hang out with the husband, of course. You know, we'll go to a brewery, whatever, a bar, and stuff like that. You know, see the person's spouse.
Yeah, occasionally they call.
You know, you wave, and they may call you. Yeah, yes. On the weekend.
Small
say,
talk.
hey, what's going on?
Small
you know,
talk
small
on the
talk.
weekend. Yeah.
But,
or when you get home from work.
Yeah, I may have, when I'm at work, my wife calls me and maybe one or two friends. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's very short.
But not on the regular.
And not on the regular. And sometimes I'll even put a stop to it where I go, hey, dude, it's like...
I got to go, I'm busy.
It's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes to call. And, you know, on the weekend, that's not a long call. But at work, you know, you got things going on. It's happened where I don't realize it. And I go, dude, we're on the phone for 20 minutes. I got to go.
I got to get back to work.
But when you get a call from like someone you know, you've gone to barbecues... And it's opposite of this, you know the husband, but it's a female.
It's the wife.
It's the wife. Or opposite. It's
yeah.
you know, hey, the minute I see that call, my response is something's going on.
Oh, something's wrong.
Because
happened.
Either my wife doesn't realize something's going on in my house or whatever, or something's going on at her house and she needs something. So I'm like, hey, everything okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
And the response would be like,
no, just calling to shoot the breeze.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well,
that's an overstep.
I'm at
so
work.
in my book,
yeah,
that's an overstep. And I've learned that you got to nip that in the butt.
Yeah, because, I mean, we have a friend, you know, if one of the guys, you know, we have block parties. We always have things going on.
Oh, we have neighbors that call once in a blue moon. Hey, how's it going?
Well,
we're going to hang out this week.
We'll have the examples, our neighbor down the block may call you.
Oh, he'll call me. Hey, haven't seen you in a few weeks. Everything good? You guys are good?
Oh,
you guys want to hang out? Yes. It's like a catch up. You want to meet up, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not no more than 10 minutes on the phone.
It's not even, but see, you're doing it. You're at home and maybe he's at home. Or it's
work.
the weekend. It's the Friday evening. What's going on this weekend?
Yes.
You know, you just kind of, hey, what you're doing, what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Or just checking up to see you're okay.
It's not like, hey. And it's Tuesday afternoon. What's going on? How's everything going? You know, it's more, and then you.
That's overstepping.
And if it happens, let's say 2 or 3 times a week.
It's overstepping.
She's like,
I think that's crossing a boundary.
Right.
There's no reason for a guy, let me put it like this. There's no reason for a neighbor, male neighbor, to be calling me.
Opposite sex.
Yes, opposite sex to be calling.
Either
one to just be on the phone and
for a good 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't think it's necessary. That's where people have problems. That's where problems start to come up.
Absolutely.
Because there's no necessity for that.
Because I'll be like, I came home and I was like, there's such and such person calling. Why? I have no idea. I thought something was going on. What'd you say? I literally said, is everything okay? Something going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think...
So we've set the boundary now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to push that boundary.
Yeah.
Right away from the beginning, you think you're having a casual conversation.
Yep.
Before you know it, it's 2-3 times a week. Now it's a routine. No.
Yeah. No.
You push the boundary right there. Go, hey, we're cool.
We're cool.
There's no reason for you to call me at work.
Day.
And I don't got time for gossip.
Thank you. Yeah. So we don't, and I have friends that are like, I'm not a phone person. I'm not on the phone.
Yeah, you're definitely not a phone person.
I'm not a phone person.
Yeah, she's not. She's an in-person.
I told
go
my
have
friends,
coffee
don't call
with Cindy.
me.
Go have lunch.
Yes.
Go do the walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm not a phone person.
She's not a phone person.
If I call you the only person I call more than him weekly is my best friend.
Right.
I will call her every day and she will call me every day.
Right.
If we are friends, if we're good friends, I will talk to you maybe 3 times in the week.
Right.
Don't call me 3 or 4 times in one day because I'm not going to answer the phone.
No,
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, Cindy with that. Yeah,
I get pissed off with that. I feel like people that do that are needy.
Yeah.
I can't tolerate that. You want to talk to me? Text me. I'll reply back to you. If I'm not busy, and I was like, call me.
Because here's what I said. I
don't got time to be on the phone, and you run out of things to say.
I don't know what the topic will be. I'll have to figure it out. But it's boundaries. But also, if you called me already at 12, and this is even for the guys. A guy calls me up at 12. Jerry, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah.
Why are you calling me back at 4?
Did you see the market drop? Da. And you call me at 4, maybe for a quick, like, hey, the market rebounded or whatever.
That's it.
There's no even that one.
Just
no
text me.
Yeah, text me. Did you see the market? That's it.
Yeah.
And even still, I don't look at my phone all the time. I'm checking my work emails, but I just don't see the need to have a conversation more than twice or 3, unless you guys are that
very
you're planning
close.
something. No, you're planning something.
Yeah.
And
yes,
you know,
you're very close
party.
and you're planning something.
Or
but other
you
than
got
that,
the
you don't
brewery
have to.
coming up, brewery
Yes.
day. Flag day, or like we're planning a
Yes.
80s kind of barbecue.
And I would say I've gotten crucified for being me because I'm not that person that's on the phone. They're like, you're cold. You don't call. I'm like, I don't have to call. I'm not that person. I don't live
Because
on
you
the
have
phone.
to have relevancy to talk.
Yes.
And if you don't have relevancy to talk, then you're gossiping.
Yes.
If I already checked on you, say, how the kids? Yeah, the kids are good. How's everything at work? Everything's working, you know? Did you catch the Yankee game? Or whatever it is you want to talk about.
Yep.
That's it. What else are you going to talk about today, tomorrow, or maybe the next 2 or 3 days?
Yes.
You know, now Friday comes because maybe you say, hey, maybe we'll hang out on Friday. Or maybe I'll go to your backyard bar or whatever.
Yes.
Or
But
your
other
house.
than that, there's no necessity for it.
Yeah. So
I thought because he was like,
because
who you spoke to this week? I'm like, I spoke to such and such once this week.
because
or,
I feel once you cross that barrier and you think it's okay, then your spouse
thinks it's okay.
No, your spouse doesn't know there's a conversation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the spouse finds out, oh yeah, I speak to your husband like at least 2 or 3 times a week. And you're like, you do? Mm-hmm. You know, and then you come home and you're like,
You're
hey,
like,
I didn't
what
know
are
you
you
spoke
talking?
to,
Why are you
let's say
talking
use the
such
name
such?
Jane.
Yeah.
I know you spoke to Jane often. She calls me at work sometimes. About what?
That's overstepping.
And then you're like, you don't have an answer about what, because it's nothing to do with kids. It's more gossip talk. Mm-hmm. You're stuck. You're like, I don't know, things in the neighborhood. Like what things? You know? Mm-hmm. I think
that
that's
causes
where
problems.
That's why, when that call comes in,
you gotta nip it.
you push the barrier.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm really busy, which is honest truth. I'm busy at work. Mm-hmm. There's no reason. I can catch up with you walking in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Give me a buzz on a Saturday.
Very
because
true.
also what happens, we'll do this. And I know we do this. If that person calls, I sometimes put it on a speaker. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got your speaker sitting next to me. You do it.
We do it all
just
the time.
to
We always do it. We do it all the time, even when we talk to family.
Yeah.
That's a normal thing for us.
Yeah. Just around speaker.
It's just a normal thing. It's not a trust thing.
It's
or
not a
anything.
trust.
It's just how
It's
we
just
are.
we do it, yeah.
Even when we talk to our neighbor could call him. He'll put it on speaker. I'm here with Cindy, and we just have a full blown conversation on speaker.
Yeah.
But there's no necessity for the opposite sex to be calling your husband or your wife.
I'm going to say
during
at
the
a weird
week
daytime.
at work.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to
gossip. Because this, again, if you have that conversation, how your kids or whatever is going on, hey, let's just use the block party. The block party, what are you wearing or what are you bringing?
That's it.
Once you pass that, that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Over.
All right,
That's
bye.
it. Yep.
That's it. Because you could have called me in the evening. Mm-hmm. You could have waited till Friday.
Yep.
And now that was, let's say, a Monday call. And then you do a Thursday call. And then next week you do a Wednesday, Thursday call. I'm going to be like,
excessive.
I'm going to be like, either you fall into the trap, you didn't tell your spouse, or like me, by the second time, I'm like, you make it even shorter. Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm at work. I got to go. Yeah. And that's what I did,
I think it helps.
I think
it helps avoid problems.
It grew into a 10-minute conversation.
No, but I'm just saying when you cut that, when you put that boundary and you put it in the beginning, like to, just to keep it there. Yes. It avoids situations.
Absolutely. Because not only that other person's spouse may not even know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people may say it. We have a good example. Our good neighbor. He may say, "Hey, I spoke to your wife yesterday about the barbecue and stuff like that." I'm like, "All right," because I know him. Mm-hmm. He's not calling every time. He's calling when there's a need. Yeah. Hey, I need the blower. I need this. That's the normal.
That's actually how our neighbors are.
Yeah.
I have all the numbers to all my neighbors on the block, all the men. They will call me because I'm the tool person here.
All right, we don't have to. That's not this topic. First of all, they
will call me before they call him for a tool.
Stop. That's not this topic. That's not this topic. Why do you gotta go?
Because I'm just trying to prove a point that they will call me for it before they call you.
Just say they call you because there's something. But
he doesn't see. He don't have a problem with that because they're just calling me. Hey, you got such and such.
No, you know why? Because they'll call me. I'm like, yo, dude, I don't know where it is. Cindy.
But they'll call me
if she's not next to me, and I go, hold on, let me put you on speaker, Cindy. If we're not next to each other, then I'm like, yo, I'm downstairs, dude. You're gonna have to call upstairs.
Yeah. Other than that, they don't call me for.
Do I have to mix oil and gasoline? Do we have any left? I'm like, what? Mix oil? No, I don't know. Hold on. Cindy! No, that's not happening. But then nobody's calling me about baking tips. I don't bake. But,
no, they just call you for IT stuff.
They call me for IT stuff.
But like that's an example. You know, our neighbors.
Go be lights.
Yeah, they'll call for things like that. And we'll just small talk. And then after that, that's it. You know, we'll see each other walking around. There's no need to be on the phone every day.
Well, I look at it as when people ask, hey, how did you get to 30, 35 years?
It's these simple things.
These simple things.
That we sometimes stray away from, and then we end up right back at them because we've learned to stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Stay what's right. Stay what feels right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't venture off. Don't get comfortable on on an area that you really know this is not even right. Because you could tell yourself, it's just a neighbor. It's just a conversation. Listen, we've all heard stories.
We've heard stories.
That conversation evolves into deep
other
thoughts
things.
of conversations.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're like this person goes, well, you understand me. You get me. Yeah, you get me too. Whoa, wait, what? Yeah. Talk to your wife. She'll understand you. She'll get you. I always go back to the Pina Colada song because if you know the words to that song, you understand communication is key. Is key. Absolutely. Yeah. You start having communication with someone else.
That's where the problem starts.
In 6 months, it goes deeper. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? I had an argument with Joe. Like, yeah, okay, click.
Yes.
I don't want to know about your argument. You ready? Because you messed up. You gave that door open to have other conversations, and it gets deeper.
Yeah, you left that
open. And then all of a sudden,
open.
that person feels like you understand them. You may be being nice. And I talk a little fast. Sorry about that. You may be just being nice as an
But that
ear.
other person's not seeing it as that.
No, they're like, wow, this person gets me.
Yes. And that's where lines get blurred and situations
Absolutely.
happen.
So again, how you do for 35 years, you learn to navigate the...
Or repair that situation.
Navigate or repair and just kind of stay in these lanes that everybody's happy and there's no crossing boundaries. And you're making sure don't cross this boundary and stuff like that. And nobody has to call my wife their pie. No, stop.
We have a neighbor that does that to him just to piss him off.
He just does that to piss me off.
He does to piss him off.
Because he knows being my friend goes, that's Jerry's pie. Revenge of the Nerds. He's like, yo, how's my pie? Shut up, man. Stop saying that. But, it's again, you know where to have fun. You know where to joke around. And you got to set that boundary.
Yes.
Because
we do joke around. We have neighbors that we joke around and goof around. Absolutely.
But like I said,
they don't cross those lines.
If you don't set it, somebody is just going to cross a little further. Mm-hmm. And you as that...
And then it just ruins the whole thing.
Well, yeah. And now that you being a good person, you feel like, let me be that ear, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I get it.
Go find a therapist.
Yeah, go find a therapist.
Go find your sister, your cousin, or whoever it is. And
I tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't even sit on the phone with my sisters, and I have a lot of sisters, people.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm one of 7 girls.
No, yeah. They could.
I could be on the phone with my sisters.
Like, can you imagine a phone call? I can hear it on speaker, and she's like 5 of them.
Oh, we used to do it before. We don't do it anymore.
Not
I used to get mad. But I have
now you got. You know what it is? You evolved to the Facebook chat.
You do the Facebook chat
or WhatsApp chat groups and stuff. That's what people do now.
If I don't chat with my own sisters that many times a week, I'm the only other person I'm going to do that with is my best friend.
Because you know why? And there's that meme and reel that goes.
I mean, I have my social friends. I have really good social friends, but I don't have time to be on the phone every day.
They use sometimes, and they go like this. I saw it was, I'll use the name. I saw it was Janet's birthday. You're like, yeah. You heart it. Like, you heart it. Like, you didn't just like it. You heart it was her birthday. You were like, happy birthday, blessings and stuff. And like, I was just trying to be nice. You could have just liked it and just left it there.
My bestie's like that. She's very territorial.
Yeah, you could have been like, you could have just liked it and left it there. But you hearted it. And then you were like, happy birthday, blessings, exclamation point.
Yeah, she's like
and
that.
You're like,
thank God she's not on social media.
I was
like that.
Yeah, I was like, I
she's
didn't realize.
Very territorial.
I just was, I mean, I think she did it for me one time. It don't matter that they did it for you. That was a boundary. Don't heart it again. Okay? Just don't even like anything. Because, you don't want nobody catching the wrong vibes. I'm like, damn, happy birthday's going to give the wrong vibes? You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
There are people like that.
And that's what I'm saying.
There are people like that.
Using an example is you don't realize, you're just thinking, this person called me, I had an issue, here's the simplest thing. These people had an argument. You want to talk to their husband? No, I don't want to talk to their husband. She's like, everybody wants you. You're the husband. No, I don't want to whisper to nobody's husband.
I don't do that to him anymore.
No, I'm like that because I want to. I'm like, I'm not.
I don't do that anymore. We we stay clear of the situation. Yeah. Let them figure it out on their own.
So, do I hurt anybody? No, I don't know if I hurt. I'll say happy birthday, and I do say the blessings. It's rare.
I think it's more with girls.
Yeah, it's rare if I hurt
something. It's not a guy thing.
But she knows for a fact, and somebody said this one time, hey, and I may have said this before in the podcast, you didn't send me a friend request. And I'm that type that...
Oh, he will not send a female friend request because he thinks it's disrespectful.
I think it's...
Now, if they send him the request, he'll tell me, hey, such and such send me a friend request. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Or if you're an IG and you follow me, I'll follow you. I'm not searching for you. I'm not looking for you.
He feels it's disrespectful.
That's me. Now, it's probably, like my friend of mine says, and you probably think, it's a little over the top.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
those are his social media rules. Like, we meet friends, like, I sent your husband a friend request. I'm like, it'll take a while. He's that person.
Yeah, and they may not look for it. They may say it, and then I'll just put it to the side, and I'll catch up to it later on. But that's just me.
She'd be like, are you jealous? I'm like, no. He thinks it's disrespectful. He takes him a while. I said it takes him a while because he feels he doesn't want to be disrespectful. But eventually he will accept your friend request, and they'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No. They called me out like, I sent you something. And I'm like, I probably didn't see what I did. I'm gonna get to it. Because that's my
how
nature.
he is.
So there's not be never.
But he doesn't have a problem with me. I get friend requests all the time on both my all my social.
You better believe
things.
I'm like this, watching her likes.
No, he doesn't.
She's like,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't even go on my social media.
Summer? What the hell? What's looking? Why would you post? Look at that. You don't do that.
He doesn't do that.
Oops, sorry about that.
He does not do that. No. He doesn't check anything on my social media. Now, if somebody puts some, like, I've gotten people that are not friends, and some of my stuff is public. I'll get like someone will make a pass on me on, and then he'll see it. I'm like, I just deleted it. That's it.
I'll never forget one time. Social media was around though, right? Yeah, social media was around.
What?
Somebody texts you, hey, you look great in the white shirt.
That scared the heck out of me.
And she was like, yo, first of all,
it was one of my photos.
She thought it was me.
I thought it was him.
She was like really livid. I was like,
because he knows how to do things like this.
Shut up. First of all, that's wrong.
Yes, he does. He does it all the time.
I mean, as a tech person, you read the articles. So when you read these articles, how things are done.
He does it too.
I just look to see how it's done.
No. He tricked me one time, scared the heck out of me. But that other one was real.
I did it one time and I scared it? I don't know. I don't recall. But let's just talk about the one. So then we were going out. We went out with your sister and her.
We were someplace.
Yeah, it was your sister and her man at the time.
Yeah.
And she made a comment and she's like, hold on, let me check. And then she traced the comments on your social media and said, yeah, it had to be this person on the phone.
It scared the heck out of me. It gave me a compliment.
It was almost
found
the same.
A picture that I had it was somewhere in my social media, the photo. Tagged me on the photo, sent me the photo. Yeah,
it was almost the same comment as the social media post.
Yeah, and it scared me. And I'm like...
Yeah, and we were like, look, it's the same. It's actually almost the same comment. So that person took the photo, sent it to you on your phone, and almost, so I'm like, so it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't me.
So this is why we have boundaries.
You have to have boundaries. You have to... You absolutely have to keep them up.
Yes.
Don't let
I mean, we have a lot of friends and we hang out and everything, but the boundary is there's no reason for opposite sex to be constantly calling us just to shoot the breeze or gossip.
It's gossip. It's gossip because you cannot shoot the breeze every day. You just can't.
It avoids problems.
Stuff to talk about.
When I see those things happening, I slowly back away and I start to ghost you. I'm an Aquarius. I will ghost you and just. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, she's from the Bronx too. She just put that face. Like, it just looks like a
it's just face. If you feel uncomfortable with something, I've learned to just slowly, like teardrop, step away little by little until I start to feel like myself again.
Well, that's one thing we're outgoing. I'm more, again, we'll go back to that.
We're a little bit of both, introverts and extroverts.
And we could definitely say, hey, for 2 or 3 weeks, we're just going to chill in the house.
Yeah.
If we step out quietly, do the thing and come back, and then that's it.
But I think that boundary helps us because when you don't have that boundary, I'll be honest, it causes problems.
Absolutely.
We've
seen it.
We've been there before. And we've learned to put the boundary back up. We've let it down a little and we're like, put it back up. Yeah. Because it causes problems.
You know what it is?
You don't want to have those problems.
It's when the boundary gets into the gossip and you're like, I don't want to hear the gossip.
It's not hearing. It's you just don't want to deal with it. You're an adult. You don't want to deal with that. That's kid stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about 5th grade, 7th grade stuff. who's doing what, they don't talk to who, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you could talk about it briefly, but then it's like, all right, how's everything else? How's work? How's your mom? How's your cousin? You told me about what your cousin was.
You want adult conversation.
Like somebody asks you, how's your cousin doing?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you were like, hey, my cousin's doing fine. Or they say, hey, how's your mother doing?
Yes,
those conversations like that. You know, it's just...
Or how's your week been going?
Yeah, it's just...
Any new plans? Yeah, I'd rather have those type of conversations than say, hey, did you hear such and such is breaking up? Oh, did you hear such and such is cheat? I'm like, I don't want to have those conversations. It's not my business.
So
that's not my business. I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to know about this. Get it away from me.
Yeah. I think it's better when you...
Because then you get to the 35 years.
Not only that...
You do. It does, because...
It's not only that. I think it's also... You're not having adult conversation.
No, you're not. But that's what I'm saying. You make the mistake of entertaining those conversations with this other person or other people. And then, as it comes out, your spouse says, why are you having this whole conversations with this person? Mm-hmm. And you're thinking it's innocent. But like I said, it turns into more. So you just... Yeah, it can have an argument because you don't realize it, or all of a sudden that person,
I think those turn into nasty arguments at home.
You know, you get like a little card on your. It's never happened, but I'm just saying. So let's get that straight. Mm-hmm. You get a card. You get up early, and there's a card in your windshield. And it's like, thank you for talking. Thank you for being in my ear.
We've heard that happen before.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We've heard of that.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, we've heard of like notes being left on the windshield. Thank you for being there. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden you're like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And then no. Absolutely not. You're never going to make it. You're never going to make it past the 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You're going to have a huge trust relationship, communication issue. Yeah. And even if you could say, hey, we could get to another 5 years dealing with it, you're dealing with that for the next 5 years of an argument because
that boundary is not
set. That boundary is broken. And if you talk to that person, you were talking to that person. I saw you at the barbecue, babe. I was just really having a light conversation.
And but it's putting doubt in the other person's head.
It puts doubts. Yeah. Yep. So anyway,
it's better to avoid it. We've gone long, but it was a conversation that we've always talked about having because we've reset these boundaries in the last 4 years, and they've worked for
absolutely.
us.
And it's not only that is when we say my cousin asked me what's the podcast about, and I was like, you got to think of like maybe Jerry Seinfeld. Is we talk about things that happen. Anything and everything. It happens even in the day, like my car not talking to me correctly or not talking to me at all. To other conversations that if it happened in this house, it's happening out there, and how we deal with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, can help
not
those
in this
people.
house. If it's happening in this relationship.
Yes.
Then it's happening to other people.
Right, and how we so this one to me,
how we handle it.
When we talked about it, it is an important one because if we don't, and it gets out of control,
it can cause serious problems. Absolutely. It can cause cheating. It causes affairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Because all of a sudden now you're like
situations.
Yeah, you're having these secret. Well, maybe we could catch a drink later on, and you're like, all right. And now you're not. Hey, I'm coming home late from work, but you were actually doing is meeting this other person, and 3 towns away because you're smart, having coffee or whatever, and then you're coming back from work. I mean, you're not coming back from work. You're coming back from that event. So anyway, again, we spoke long enough.
It was an interesting topic.
That's our insight. That's how we feel. We navigated out 35 years together to this point. So.
Yeah. I think it's a good boundary to have. Especially, I mean, not that nobody here is like...
No.
What is it? You call it not confident?
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? No, yeah.
We're confident in our situation. Yeah. It's just... Yeah. It's a good boundary to have. It's
a boundary to have. As an example, if you were looking for some kind of type of advice, hey, that's good, solid advice. Because it may never happen to that person. It may never happen to you guys out there. And someone makes that call during the day and then makes another call 2 days later on. And all of a sudden you're on this cycle. It may never happen. Hey, that's great. For another person, they're going to be like, that's starting right now. Or if it happens then 6 months down the road. Yeah.
And you can put a stop to it.
Yeah, you can put a stop to it.
So guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a good week. Like, comment, subscribe, share, talk about our podcast.
That's right.
Give us your input.
All right. Take care, everybody. See you next time out there.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.